things upsetting you right now. Take a deep breath, inhale, and exhale. Say it out loud. Just for today, I choose to let go and let God. And as you take another deep inhale, inhale love, trust, and compassion. And exhale all of those fear, worries, and doubts. You are loved. You are cared for. You are blessed. Now I want you to put your palms together in a prayer position in front of your heart as we pray. Father God, open the eyes of our heart to receive the message that is meant for us to hear, especially in this point of our life's journey. Guide our thoughts that they may always be positive and uplifting. Direct our words that these may always bless and praise. Be with us, especially in the next couple of hours, as we learn and grow to support ourselves and be of support as well. We lift up our past, present, and future to you and surrender to your loving grace and mercy. Take one last deep breath, inhale and exhale. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen. Open your eyes, smile, and smile to the people around you. Thank you. Give yourselves a big, big clap and hug yourself. Thank you.
Thank
Yeah.
you so much, Coach. Thank you so much, Coach Jill, for that very relaxing meditation. You know you're one of my favorite people to lead that. So thank you. Anyway, I think we are all grounded and ready. So is it okay if I introduce myself? Can I see thumbs up? Okay. My name is Yani Moya. I am in a journey of continuous personal growth and mastery. And in this journey, I have discovered my calling and passion in coaching. So I am actually currently a life and wealth coach, and I thrive to see a world where everyone is blissful and abundant. And of course, aligning it to my mission, which is for my bliss to inspire limitless possibilities. And I do that by simply adding value to as many people as I can and in different ways and vehicles, including this webinar. So, if I may share the story behind today's topic. So, just a little background of why I initiated to do this specific webinar is actually this is just a daily meet for my team. So, we do daily learning sessions to learn from anything about their personal development or random things that they want to learn. I look for speakers for each specific topic that they request from me. However, I noticed that during this lockdown, parang I felt there's a race of negative emotions coming from the people around me and what I see on social media. And more people started messaging me asking for support because they are suffering from either anxiety, depression, feeling empty, feeling useless, and scared. Basically, a lot of heavy emotions started to show up more, mainly because of our situation in this pandemic. These people actually ask help from me. And to be honest, when I'm feeling anxious myself, I also just run to my life coaches. That's where I get advice, tips, and tools that I use and I share to these people. Having said that, sometime last week, I thought of inviting one of my life coaches, our facilitator, for today to do a learning session to help my small team, some of my close friends, and some of my coaches as well. But then I realized we could help a lot more people if we open it up to public and even invite panelists who can also share their story. And like what Simon Sinek said in his podcast that I listened to this morning, the best way to deal with traumas and these emotions is human relationships. calling people and listening to people. So this is why I'm doing this. And so here we are today. I'm so happy because 2 days since we promoted it, we have 127 people inside the discussion and hundreds of people who are watching on our live stream. I think that is enough proof that a lot of people need this kind of conversation, or a lot of people would like to learn how to give support at this time. So, palakpakan nyo naman yung sarili ninyo for being here. And just to plug, my invitation is, if you like this type of organization and culture, approach the person who invited you or connect with me on my Facebook and Instagram. It's at Coach Yani Moya, to be part of this advocacy and this community. My team is very much open to transform more people's lives. Okay. So before we begin, I'm inviting everyone, if you could share this on Facebook. It's currently live on my page para we can reach out to more people. Ayun. Thank you. So just a disclaimer, the speakers today have no psychology background, but based on the work that they do, they help a lot of people, including me. That's why I invited them to help me in this conversation. So, part of the learning session is to share wins with each other, but this time we will be hearing them from our panelists. So, are we ready to hear from our panelists? Can I see a thumbs up? Or maybe chat? Thank you. Okay, so our first panelist is a very beautiful actress. Ayan. More than just being one of the top actresses in the country, I would say, she is also known as a mental health advocate. Her story inspired me so much, and what I like about her is that when I discussed this passion project to her a couple of days ago and invited her to share, she immediately said yes. Ayon. And in fact, she has also already joined one of my team's daily learning sessions. She's one of the nicest and most genuine artistas I have ever worked with. And I'm very honored to have her with us today. Let us give a virtual applause to Miss Jasmine Curtis-Smith. Go
Hi,
ahead, Jasmine.
hi, Annie. Thank you naman. What a beautiful introduction. Medyo najahe ako sa top. Medyo wala pa ako doon. But, if this is my top, I'm happy. I think this is a good top to be in. And I'm glad I can share it with you guys. And whatever I have in my head, maybe my experience will resonate with you. Maybe you're going through it right now. But hello, I'm Jasmine. I'm 26 years old. I am not an actress at the moment kasi walang TV and film industry, but that's okay. I've been staying home for the last 3 months. I am not the designated with the pass to go out to the grocery, so I'm really just at home. Um, I have been when I was in high school. Okay, let's start this off already. When I was in high school, and started working already, I realized that I had already been feeling some kind of tension within myself, and I had been going through some weird, like, emotional imbalance that I couldn't figure out. And got to a point that I was noticing things about myself, like I would stay in bed more. I didn't like to open my draw my curtains open. Gusto ko, pagkakain ako, it's so minimal. When I eat, sometimes I also feel like I feel sick or I feel like vomiting. So all these things were happening to me when I was in high school. And I decided, and my mom decided to seek um, a checkup. Baka kasi it's more of like a physiological, like, problem. So we tackled it in that manner. And when we visited our local clinic, ang sabi nung doctor sa akin was that she couldn't find anything wrong with my body or with how my body was functioning. We ran tests, there was nothing, and I didn't know what else or how to explain what I was feeling, and so she gave me a test, and I went through the test, and she said, na I think you might need to see a psychiatrist. So I went and saw one for a couple of sessions. It helped me kind of pinpoint what was um, stressing me out or causing my anxiety at that time. There were a lot of things causing me anxiety. I didn't know what to choose for college. I didn't know what career to take. I was hearing a lot of people's opinions, but every time I spoke my truth or what I believed in or what I wanted to do, it was either disregarded or, put down or just kind of not in the picture at all. So that impacted me a lot as a teenager and growing up. And continuously, since I was 17 up until now, 26, I've pursued to seek professional help in times of need. Kasi alam kong I can't do it alone. And I've also surrounded myself with a support system that I now feel like can actually listen to my thoughts, give me constructive opinions or criticisms so that I can grow and I can build and I can be aware of where my thoughts are or why I'm thinking such a certain way without feeling minimized, devalued, or uh, fearful of speaking up, of sharing my truth, or even to just be me, diba? So anyway, medyo na ano ko na yon, medyo na overcome ko na yung teenage anxiety ko. But of course, as we grow older or as we, I guess, move on to the phase from teenage life to working life, and you're now exposed to the real world, and you're now exposed to a not so systematical environment like a school, there are so many things now that could possibly stress you out other than homework or other than your teacher or deadlines at school. Now it actually presses on your means of living kasi work mo na yan. So nakaka-stress yon and nakaka-cause ng anxiety and also fear. So for me, the last 3 months, I definitely have been feeling fear about my work, about whether or not meron pa ba kaming mababalikan soon enough. I'm not, you may say that I have naman my platforms and we celebrities get all these sponsorships or influencing postings and whatever, but the thing is that's not me. I do not believe to always promote, get in all the brands, promote all the brands and sell out myself and my soul and what I believe in, because I believe that every product I engage myself in, I want to make sure I believe in it. So ayokong nagiging fake to my audience and ayokong nagiging pretentious just so I can earn, because that gives me guilt. So ngayon, with that kind of mindset or moral and values, it's easy to figure out na it might be a bit of a struggle the next few months, because not all brands right now are, trustworthy or aligned with where I am. Hindi naman ako mommy, so I can promote like, pang laba or pang hugas ng pinggan, yung mga stuff like that. I hope you guys know what I mean. This may sound different from your daily work, but I'm trying to set out lang siguro yung framework ng trabaho ko para maybe in your own work framework makarelate kayo. I don't know if I'm making sense, but like help me out here, guys. Like you can chat in the box if you know better terms that I can use. But anyway, so I've been feeling a lot of fear about that. I've been feeling like I don't know if this is still the industry I should still pursue, and I don't know if this is still like something that should be in my future. Considering how unstable it can be in times of state of emergencies like this. So I've decided on my own to sign up to webinars like these, or even short courses online that I could look forward to and engage in, so that I'm constantly learning something and possibly put that learning to use once this ECQ is over, or once there's an opportunity to put that learning into play. Kasi I feel that if I was just to sit down and wait for my industry to tell me what's gonna happen, that's a lot of people, that's a lot of people na mag-uusap pa, magde-decide pa, and then there's a whole process that we probably don't know about na paano nila i-decide yon. Same goes with any industry or any company. If you're working for a certain company right now, hindi mo rin siguro sure how this company will fare out in the end. Not unless you have an amazing job and, your boss is on top of things and naayos na nila yun lahat ngayon, then that's fantastic. But for many of us, I'm sure our bosses or even our company CEOs are still trying to figure out what best to do for their employees. Tulad natin, well, for most of us, we have job security because there's a contract length and there's a certain stipulation na parang with your salary. But for the most of us, siguro, we're hired per contract lang. Baka we're freelancers. And when you're a freelancer, that tends to cause more anxiety because wala na ngang kasiguraduhan on a daily basis without a pandemic, even more now, diba? So that's where I've been at and what I've been feeling. But the best thing that I can say, or what my win is in the last 3 months, is giving myself that opportunity to look forward to growing, which is my classes. And that starts in June 1 pa. So can you imagine this month, medyo na ano na ako na nagsa-start na ulit yung anxiety ko na parang, ang tagal pa, and I want to start. I want to have something to distract me already and give me knowledge so that I'm not constantly waiting or, checking the calendar, ilang weeks na lang ba. But that gave me a different thing to think of. Get? So parang that helped me and that allowed me to reshift my focus. And if you guys haven't noticed, I haven't been on social media much because it's so toxic. And for someone who uses it for work, I do not like seeing my contemporaries doing what they're doing right now. I feel that it's not adding to the learning of their audience. It's just causing more anger and it's causing more pain. And when we mock each other online, that is not constructive. That is not bringing you up also emotionally. You're increasing your anger, you're increasing your frustration instead of, finding someone that you can discuss this with and you can actually process things with. So I decided, and with my counselor's advice, to stay off social media first and only log on if I can actually say something to contribute to someone's thoughts, like in a good way or in a way that will make them feel motivated, because we all need to feel that right now. So that is also why I've decided take social media time off muna and see where this can take me. Because I'm sure it will naturally come in for me to be on it again and to share what I have to share again and etc. So that's where I'm at right now. I'm not saying I don't have anxiety anymore or I do not feel stressed or I don't have fears. We all have that. And I feel like my anxiety is kind of like creeping in lang, but I'm trying so hard to maintain it and massage it. I'm massaging it. I'm not suppressing it because suppressing it would only hurt me more in the future. So just allowing it to like simmer lang, andyan ka lang, until I get to that point na I can finally use my learning platform, my studies to give me that confidence with myself and growth and know how to tackle this better. So yun din, nabanggit ko, I have a counselor and that's my win. I gave myself the chance to approach a professional so that I could better guide myself. So if you have that opportunity, I really do highly suggest approaching a professional, whether it's a life coach, a psychiatrist, psychologist, kung ano talaga yung appropriate sa'yo, or even if it's a friend or a family member that can, really process a conversation with you, not just share their kumbaga, kung meron silang ibang perspective, pero hindi naman yun makakatulong sa'yo, diba? Sometimes, you just need someone to listen and ask you questions, but not really like poke you and intimidate you with these questions. So yun, so that's my sharing and that's where I'm at right now. I feel like that gives a good kind of idea of where I am and what I've been dealing with. So I'm sure meron ding mga ganun sa inyo. I don't know what else to say. Maybe our next speaker would like to do their sharing now. So I'll see you guys in the question and answer of that. I'll be here. I'll be listening because I also need all the knowledge that I'll get from Coach Rush and Rush to like Russ and also Miss Sap. So I'll be here. I'll be here, guys. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Jasmine, for that wonderful share. I like what you said about growing and building your awareness around this. And also, medyo same tayo in engaging and continuous learning during lockdown. It really helps with your anxiety, lalo na if you're not that um aware, or if you don't know, if you need a community to talk to build relationships with. So thank you so much, Jasmine, for that. um yeah, I think a lot of us can resonate to it. Maraming nagchat-chat sa group chat natin. Okay. So I think we're ready for our next panelist to share. She is a mental, emotional, and spiritual therapist and a life coach. She's an integrative nutritionist who focuses on disease and her illness around of ano illness area of specialty is liver health. Ayan. She's certified by International Medicine and Dentistry Hypnotherapy Association and EKAA International. She is also certified by the International Association of Coaches and Therapists and Integrative Institution of Nutrition. She's my inner child therapist and wellness coach. And my session with her actually helped me understand more of how my inner child issues are affecting my current state and and how it can affect my future. So she's my wellness coach who guides me also in my nutrition and even skincare. So let's all welcome Miss Saps Uttam. Saps?
Hi, everyone. My God, did you really have to say skincare? Hi, everyone. Happy Sunday to all of you. Jasmine, that was really heartfelt. Thank you for sharing and thank you for saying how you really feel because that's how everyone is feeling right now. Thank you for lending your voice and making sure that people are understanding what they're going through because people just feel that it's just like people like me, a therapist, and I'm not feeling anything, or people like artistas are not feeling anything. But just to let you know what anxiety is, it just creeps up on you when you least expect it because it's the fear of the unknown. So every single human being, you're never going to know what tomorrow will bring. So so when that happens, we we will always have that, ups and downs. But like she said, she's aware of it. She's aware it's there, and she's not shooing it away. She's just acknowledging it, but she doesn't want it to stay. And that's basically the way you need to deal with any mental health issue. Don't let it fester for long. It's coming here to say something. All our emotions are coming here to say something. So what is it trying to tell you? And then it's actually sometimes a guide. So don't think of it as something negative. Like, what are you here to say? What are you saying? Fear of the future. So what should I do? It's more of like, I'll walk you through all of this later, but thank you for sharing that, and I appreciate it. And so, okay, so I am a mental, emotional, spiritual therapist. I always believe that we are spiritual beings on this journey called life. So let's not forget about why we're here and what is the bigger picture in all of this and why these things happen to us. And with that, I deal with metaphysical meaning of diseases and illnesses because it starts with the mind, then the emotions, and then the physical. It's going to show up in the physical body. When it shows up in the physical body, that's the last part. So we need to kind of take a step back and understand, how did this start? When did this start? So I think Yanni said I'm a inner child therapist because we have inner children in us. So yesterday was your last inner child. Inner child is the key to understanding why these things are happening to us. So I tackle the subconscious mind. The subconscious mind runs on 90% of everything that's happening to us. So with that, is it my win already now? Do I say my win? Okay, my win is I'm actually happy that people are coming out and talking about mental health. I think it's about time because it's not taboo. It's not, don't taint it in such a way that, oh, this person has mental health issues. Understand that we all do. Every human being has bouts of anxiety, fear, stress. And yes, I'm happy that people are actually talking about it, because when we talk about it, we can do something about it. Because if we don't talk about something, how can we change what we're not oblivious to? And when somebody says it, so somebody like me, because I was in therapy for a very long time for my own issues, hence I became a therapist, because I realized that I loved how it helped me. Now I want to hold the space for other people as well. So this is what I do. But I always believe that nutrition is equally important because the body never lies. So the body will tell you what you need and how you're going to address all these issues. Because remember, you are in your body. So you are in your mind, you are your body. So we need to kind of put the pieces of the puzzle together. So my biggest win in all of this is thank you for creating platforms like this. I've been insanely busy since lockdown because there's so many webinars, there's so many lives, there's so many private consultations and companies. And I'm very happy to actually hear that companies care about their employees, you know, that they actually spend on their employees because they want to make sure that their employees are cared for, you know, because this is something that we don't know what's going to happen, and it causes anxiety even for the best of us, even for as Jasmine said, CEOs and all that. They have massive anxieties as well. So it doesn't look for, oh, just because, you know, you're just an employee or what, it just hits anyone and everyone. But with webinars like this, you're going to understand how you're going to cope, so that when this happens, you have the tools, you have the tools, and then you can, you know, make sense of why this is happening and understand what to do. Because if not, if you don't have it, I'm sorry, this is just going to eat you up. And that's where a lot of people are at. And now is the time to really talk about it. And now is the time to ask the questions. So ask all your questions. And we're here. All of us are here to talk and to help you in any way we can. So thank you, Yanni. Thank you, Coach Russ. Thank you, Jasmine. And let's start.
Thank you so much, Saps. No, anxiety is the fear of the unknown. So if you're experiencing anxiety or have experienced anxiety during this lockdown, Saps is saying it's totally normal. I like that your win also is about this, the awareness of the people, and also this webinar, because this is also my win. And just a short trivia, the first learning session that Jasmine attended is actually the one that Saps was the main facilitator. So ang ganda na they're all here today. So yeah, reiterating then on what Saps said, that now is the time to ask questions. So okay, thank you so much, Jasmine and Saps, for sharing your wins for today. I think we're ready now for our main facilitator. Are we? Yes, okay. I love your thumbs up. Okay, our main facilitator is a well-known international life, wealth, and transformational coach. He helps people develop a deeper level of awareness and create an impact to the world by starting with oneself. This person is the reason why I started my personal mastery journey last year, coming from a very negative space and negative mental health. He made me understand who I truly am and embrace my greatness within. basically, he has helped me transform my life into who I am today. A lot of my friends actually have noticed my transformation over the past couple of months, over the past year. And yeah, I always just give credits to him. And I would say he is currently one of the most influential people in my life. That's why it's my honor to share him to everyone this afternoon. He's more than just a mentor, a leader, a coach. He's actually a really good friend of mine. So let's give a round applause to Coach Russ Juson.
Thank you,
Go ahead.
Yani, and it's such an honor, and I'm really proud of you for putting this up. Thank you so much, Jasmine. I honor your authenticity. I honor your giving heart, just to be an example for people that it's always okay not to be okay. And I truly appreciate you giving that heart, and I feel you. Thank you so much. And of course, Saps, our work really complement together. So again, for everyone, my name is Russ Juson. Please call me Russ. I'm 49 years old today, and I guess my biggest win, I started this journey of coaching myself and coaching other people when I was at age 35. So that was like 14 or 15 years ago, because 15 years ago at age 35, I feel that I was at the peak of my career. I was the most successful human being alive that I know for myself. And the world never knew about what was going on inside me. No, and why? Because I was so afraid to appear not perfect, because everyone expects of me to be perfect. No? And I realized that at that moment of my life, every night I would always pray and cry by myself, feeling all alone, feeling lonely. And the prayer that I had that time was just, Lord, take away my life. And I didn't understand what was going on for me, simply because I guess everyone sees me as someone who was already, got it, nailed it in my life, the success, the money, and little did I know, the more I get more of this, the more I feel drowning deep inside, and yeah, being able to seek for a lot of help, but nobody knew about it until by accident, I was able to meet a life coach, and automatically the life coach who I met um, allowed me to understand what was going on for me at that time. Okay, I guess the people who I were talking were treating the disease that I thought I have, but never the symptom. Okay, and I realized the symptom I had at the time was that I was working to be very, very successful so that everyone will get to love me, everyone will get to, you know, approve of me, everyone will get to just say, you're good, you're great. And little did I know it was just a revenge for myself, because I was living my life proving to everyone. I mean, literally selling my soul to the work that I do. No, I heard Jasmine here. I was like a dancing bear. Whatever my clients would tell me, whatever my company would tell me, I will do it. Why? For what sake? Because I thought success and everyone's appreciation will actually allow me to feel loved. And little did I know that it was my little child who was showing up, appearing, that this little child never felt loved. This little child was rejected several times. But I guess the most important part here, that this little child of mine got the biggest rejection by myself and all myself. And again, at age 35, I guess one thing about me is when I'm something, when I'm in it, I go out 100%. So it was a huge change, because I actually resigned and left the company, the work that allowed me to be very successful, for what sake? To really get into the core of maybe understanding what was going on for me, and more than that, taking a look at on a journey from within. And because I was starting to journey from within, I think after a year, I started to just allow myself to be the message of my message, that number one, okay, it's always okay not to be okay. Okay, so which means, I guess I'm so good before in pretending that my life is perfectly working. I got it covered. I don't need your help. I'm the one gonna help you. But again, it's really being able to understand that in life, when you give, you should also know how to receive support from people around you. And I got that support. Okay. And up until now, I'm building that support system from the world around you. So it's okay not to be okay. Okay. Number two, when you know that you're okay, when you know that it's okay not to be okay, take time to feel the emotion. Okay. And what I learned in life coaching, emotions are there for appropriate situation. No, let's say, for example, how many of you here sometimes you get angry? Yeah. And anger emotion is not bad. It is a natural emotion that human being feels. Okay? And it's an appropriate emotion when you feel that something is wrong and you want to take the blame, you want the other person to take to pay the prices of what was said that was wrong, or maybe what you think this person did to you was wrong, and you have all the capacity to be angry. Nothing wrong around it. When does it become wrong? When the anger now becomes a mood. Are we clear? When the emotion of anger now becomes smooth, which means how many of you here, you're driving along EDSA, it's very smooth, and all of a sudden somebody cuts you off and then start the new break. What's the appropriate emotion? Is it happy, excited because somebody cut you off? Or what's the appropriate emotion? Happiness or anger? Anger. Why are you angry? Because it's wrong to cut off during driving, right? You're here excited with your life and somebody cuts you off, then you're angry, right? So that's an emotion, which means something happened external, you reacted to what's going on, then you get angry. Now, when does it become wrong? Now, after 1 hour, you're still angry. After 2 weeks, you're still angry. After a year, it becomes angry. Then it becomes mood, and your mood becomes your now personality, and your personality now translate all of your result. And maybe this is now where all of this depression, all of these things going on for you. And again, at the end of the day, it's really number two, identifying the emotion. Okay, and what we all say, stay there, enjoy it. But number three, most important is decide when to release it. When I say decide when to release it, allow yourself to feel it, but let it go. Give yourself timetable. Okay, when it's really deep hurt, deep anger, deep sadness, maybe give yourself a day, a two or three. But whether you like it or not, you will really get over this, and you have to, because if not, your life will be just dragging yourself, dragging yourself. So again, releasing it energetically, that's something that you can do. After you release energetically, you now move to the next, which is now you taking a look at on how can you now reframe this? How can you learn from this? How can you grow from this? Maybe we always say the sayings, blessing in disguise. Some people would always go there without releasing it. Okay, but it's really taking a look on how can I actually look at this as my starting point, so I can expand myself, to grow myself, to be bigger, so I can actually prepare myself to create whatever I want, in fact my dream life. Okay, and last but not the least, number five is the moment you release this and reframe it, most important part here is you need to rebuild yourself every day. Because when you don't rebuild yourself every day, the bigger chances here is that you will still get hurt, you will still be irritated, you will still get upset, you will still be sad with all of the things that's going on outside. Why? All of our problem, it always starts with change. So Yani Moya, if I ask you, what's the only thing that's permanent in the world?
Change, coach.
Change. And the reason why we get upset, we get angry, we get irritated because this is how I want it and something changed external, then you cannot expand yourself. Then what I'm trying to say here is my life is not perfectly working, but it's perfect with the way I rebuild myself on a day-to-day basis, so that whenever something crazy, something big, something, you know, frustrating that's going on in my life, I will be affected. But here's the thing, I stay there not for long, but be able to address it. No? And I guess my biggest win, if I may say personally, this week has been, I think, the biggest emotional turbulence in my life since January this year. Okay. I don't know, Yan, if you remember, I had that show with Ding Dong last Wednesday. Okay. 5 minutes before the show, the news came in. It's really devastating news. Okay. But a lot of people did that notice I was not even shaken with the news. Okay. So what I did for 5 minutes, I acknowledged, tang ina to. I released, did all my work, Ho'oponopono, shake, 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 shake. And then once it's live, good morning, boom. After the show, I think, Yanni, we had a talk until the evening. And then from the night, all the way to 4 a.m., I mourned and cried and poured my heart out and sat down the morning and did my morning routine to rebuild myself, which means every day I pause and acknowledge what's not working in my life, what's bothering me. And I take deep breaths. I'm letting it go. And every day I take a look at on those people who I feel are upsetting me, who I feel are hurting me. I pause. And I always say, I forgive you. And I ask that you forgive me. That's every day. After that, I do my gratitude. After I do my gratitude, I speak out what I want. After I speak out what I want, I now start to think of how will this day look like as a perfect day, painting it. But I guess the most important part here is every day I rebuild myself. Can everyone just hug yourself? Go ahead. Go ahead. And the moment you hug yourself, every day I just allow myself to feel all the love that I can give to myself. And perhaps I allow myself to just feel the love that I never felt as a little child. Being able to give that physical touch, that physical hug. And perhaps every day, I just allow myself to feel whole and perfect. And just listening to this powerful song, just allowing myself to refill all the hurt, the pain that was discharged. And just allowing myself to feel all the love I can give to myself. You are so beautiful. Just maybe assuring myself, Russ, you're okay. You're great. You're powerful. You are enough. And just having that wonderful, wonderful experience of just replenishing that love that I can give to myself. Okay? And after that, I just surrender everything and allowed myself to go back and releasing it energetically. And that's what I do every day. I'm not saying I'm not affected. Yes, I'm affected, but the faster I move out from the effect, from the turmoil, the more I can move forward in my life. Yeah. That's my story. Go ahead, Yanni.
I love it, coach. Every day, pause, acknowledge what's not working in your life and just let it go. Personally, I love the hugging part. I love the physical touch that I give to myself every day because that's me filling up my own love tank, my own heart in the morning para again to function and parang replenish the love in me. I love it, Coach. Thank you so much. Maybe I'd like to pause here and ask people who wants to share what's your aha moment or what are you learning so far or what are you feeling around this. If you can just raise your hand and look into your videos and just share. Anyone? Or maybe Jasmine, can I call you to share?
Sure,
Thank you.
I'd love to. I had to take off my video a few times when Coach Russ was speaking because it really hit home and iyak pa ako ngayon. Um, yung umiyak, guys, pero a learning from there is that yun nga, like, even if I'm 26 and coach is, you know, ano nga ba yun, coach ulit? I don't wanna say the wrong age. 45? Yes, tama ba ako?
39.
It's 49.
Sorry, coach. The late
Sunday, darling, 49.
Even if we have that difference in age, you know, it shows you that no matter where you are in life, if you have these struggles or you have similar experiences, there are ways to build yourself and move from there. And it's easy to be like me na, you know, sometimes you get faced or you kind of get lost in your own thoughts and in your own um background or history. So parang you tend to take it on and stretch it and like try to deal with it. And parang ako, I know I've been doing that. I have issues from when I was a kid that I still hold on to until now, and um still gets me this emotional. But I'm so glad I have something to look forward to, because I see how coach has grown and how he's impacted Yanni. Oh my God, ano ba? But it inspires me so much, and I'm just a very emotional person. Kaya ako naging artista, guys. So that's why I feel so much tears right now. Um, I'm very quick to also feel feel what you guys feel and get touched by that. So ano lang ako, I think this is a lot, and it's making me feel so empowered that I'm hearing Coach Russ speak, and I'm seeing everyone here willing to participate. So yon, I think it's that, and it's looking forward to that I picked up from Coach, and one thing he said na I heard previously in my life but I kind of let go of and never acknowledged again was that wag mong tatambayan yung emotion or yung pakiramdam mo. Daanan mo lang yan. Wag mong tatambayan. That was what was said to me by this person who I really like believed in and I held on to and looked up to. So that's one of the things that I loved na you said, Coach. Thanks, guys. Whew! Kayo naman!
Thank you, Jasmine, for the Pati ako naiyak sa'yo. Ano ba yan? Di naman ako artista. Naiyak din ako. Yeah, anyone else?
Let us not be sorry for feeling emotion, because as a human being, the reason why there's depression, because we do not allow ourselves to feel what's real. In fact, I'm denying myself to feel bad. And sometimes I feel bad because I feel bad. I mean, especially when you grow up in the church, where they say magalit, masamang magalit, and it's not really you acknowledging that emotion. Now, what we always say in life coaching, okay, is acknowledge the emotion, okay, but be careful that you don't move this emotion to a mood, because your moods will be the context of your life. And all of these emotions, by the way, are the suppressed and repressed emotions that we never allowed ourselves, especially as a little child, because all we wanted from the people who's taking care of us was acceptance, was love, was appreciation. And the best way we can give that to them is to not be a bother. It's not to speak out. It's just to listen and to behave. Little girls are good girls, just behave. And maybe I'd like to get Sam's understanding of what I just shared, that everything that was going on in my life at that moment was really anchored on as a little child. No? So if I may share subs, no? At age 35, I was at the peak of my fitness. I was at 42-inch waistline, 240 pounds. And no matter what I do, the diet, the exercise, it will always go back, shrink and shrink. Okay. So right now I'm 49. I just, you see, okay. I don't do crazy stuff in my health, except maybe if I may share subs, and I just noticed in my inner healing child, the layers that I was handling was actually the layers for so that I won't be hurt again, because I experienced hurt as a little child, and the only way I can get attention is to be a fat boy. Okay. Part of that also is taking a look at, again, it's all about healing that inner child that up until now, that hug for that is really just making that little child feel all the love that he missed. And I do that every day. Go ahead, Sams. I want to hear from you as a professional child child healer. Do we call that? Go ahead, Saps.
Talagang child healer, no? Baka inner child, Russ.
Inner child.
Okay. So I'm gonna give you guys. I mean, some of you guys know me here, like Yanni, Jasmine, Russ, a few others. I even have my very own two. She's like a little baby doll, talaga for me. She's my client. She's here. Chess, Trish, she's here. Um, when I'm gonna explain something about inner child, everyone has it. I don't care who you are, but here's the thing: you don't have one. You have a lot of them. Now, how does this happen? Fourth month of pregnancy of your mom, fourth month, fourth day, until you're 7, we have a critical filter. So I'm going to give you an example. This is your critical filter. It's open, so you keep getting all the emotions from your mom when she was pregnant with you, when you were a few months old, 1 year old, 2 years old, until 7. After that, this shuts permanently. Now, I don't know how to shut this. Okay, so this shuts permanently, and we have trapped emotions. So, for example, when you're young, um, you go to school, or you have a sister, or you have a brother, and you didn't understand something because it was a tough day for you, and we carry baggage as human beings, and we say it in our tone. So maybe, I'm just saying, this is all maybe. Maybe your mother must have said, "Ano ba yan? Mas matalino kapatid mo." Now, we're not understanding it, but we take that emotion and we keep it somewhere. Where does it go? It goes into the critical filter. And when it goes into the critical filter, this is what happens to us. It becomes more and more and more. Instead of sadness and happiness, it becomes more of that sadness. And when your cup overflows with all those emotions, you start to show that in your adult life. Your boss may say something again. Ano ba, ang tanga mo? Wow, I remember that. I've heard that before. Because you've not dealt with that emotion. Now, Russ said something a while ago. I totally agree with what he says. Release your emotion, but two things. Do not harm yourself, and don't ever harm another person. Why? Because everything that we do on earth is a lesson. There's always a lesson to learn. What is this lesson? Why is it showing up in my movie? Why is it showing up in my world? What is this trying to teach me? What is this person trying to teach me? Now, this is where I tell a lot of people, my clients, the webinar, reparent yourself. What does that mean? Give the love, kindness, compassion to yourself. And when you have enough of that, you then go, if you're comfortable, you then go to your parent who did not give that to you and show them that love as well. Why? Because they are children as well. And we parent based on how we were parented. So don't expect your parents to give you everything because they didn't get it as well. So if you feel, what is it that you want now in the world of social media where all of us are coming out and speaking? What is it that you want? Be clear about what you want and get it for yourself. Now, emotions stay in the body. And the sad part about it is two things. You hurt yourself all the time. Always. How? By speaking ill of yourself. I'm not good. I'm not good enough. I'm not worthy enough. I'm not, and the list goes on. And second of all, because of that emotion that stays, by the way, in the liver, because all our emotions have its place in the body, we carry that unnecessary weight with us. Not weight, but unnecessary emotion, that weight, which turns to anger because we cannot speak our truth. We cannot, because we don't know how. But we should be knowing how. So hugging yourself, telling yourself it's going to be okay. But the most important thing is, I love you. And I'm sorry you've been through, I'm sorry for whatever it is that you've been through. I'm so sorry. I'm here for you now. I'm not going to leave you. I'm here. I'm here. It's you and me, kid. Please forgive me. I'm sorry. Thank you. I love you. Why do you love this inner child? Because this child is you. Again, when I say inner child, does not mean child. It can be you of yesterday. So if Russ does not process what happened Wednesday, that will quickly become an inner child. And in that box of sadness, happiness, it's quickly going to go in the sadness. And that sad file will keep multiplying and multiplying and multiplying. And then we eat based on our emotion. That's why we love the comfort, savory food, the salty, fatty food, because we're eating our emotions. And then it's going to manifest in the body. What is a disease? Disease is dis-ease, when we're not at ease with something. But make no mistake, it starts off with the mind. Because the mind does two things for you: predicts and it keeps you safe. Now, how many of you watched Joker, the movie? How was it? It was constantly telling, the mind was constantly telling him things he thought he needed to hear. And when he heard the truth, he lashed out because that wasn't, and that became his identity, whatever his mother told him. Because the mind is so good at telling you tales. It's not a bad thing. It's just, that's what the mind does. And what does it do? It's to keep the inner children safe. So there's a very thin veil called ego to keep the inner children safe. And that ego is going to predict, and that ego is going to tell you more stories. About what? It's not never going to tell you a good story. It will tell you tomorrow when we're out of ECQ, or are we in GCQ? Things are going to be hard. Do we know that for sure? No. But the brain, the mind will protect you. So it will create a story. And guess what? We're going to fall for that story. And the body, because the mind is here, the body will just say, I'm responding to what you're saying. So what you've predicted, what you're telling me, what will happen? Anxiety will happen. Sweaty palms, can't sleep, hyperacidity. The stories have already gone to December 2020 when we're still in May 2020. We've already predicted a horrible story for ourselves. So this is where I urge you, when you come to webinars like this and you're learning, you have the power to rewrite stories in your mind. How? When you're falling in a pit hole, you tell yourself, okay, I kind of don't like that. I kind of don't like that. Start somewhere, okay? I don't like that. So I feel hindi pa nga nangyayari, and I'm already like predicting these things. How about we predict something good? Why? Because that's the placebo effect. Remember, placebo effect, when you're in a state of positivity, you're going to get nothing but positivity. And at the same time, please, because of my work, I know what it does. Inner child, please protect your inner children. Why? Because when anxiety comes up, for example, you have so much, I don't know who, but let's say, for example, somebody's feeling so much of anxiety towards work. Mind you, they know what it's like to not have work. They've been there. So it's coming up strong. It's coming up fast. Because they know what it's like, because it's happened to them. For people that don't feel anxiety, it's not happened. It's not happened to them. That's why. Something else has happened to them. But we've all gone through something. My childhood was horrible, horrible. Hence, I'm here, Russ is here. But we've done something. We've changed that. We've turned our lives around. I was deep into therapy because I needed it out, out. Talking about anger, my anger was so bad. I would drive like a man. I would drive like I would want to crash my car. That was so much of anger festering in me because I had no outlet. And then it didn't help that I loved to drink. It didn't help that I was constantly going out. When I was when I started to remember what was happening to me, I was on my knees and I was like, I'm broken in a million pieces. Please, I need some help. I wanted it very organic. I wanted it natural. And the most important thing that I did was to meet my inner children and love them for all that they are and all that they're not. Because to me, they're the ones that kept me safe. That's why I'm here, because I wanted to die. I'd ask God, so why am I still alive? But guess what? Now I'm living my purpose. And for people that are going through anxiety and depression, it's real. Let's not judge others going through it. Let's not judge ourselves. But please be good to yourself and be kind to yourself. And the most important thing is have faith. Because when we lose our faith in ourselves and in God, all these things can creep into your mind. You know, like what's going to happen tomorrow? Do I still have work? What's going to go, what's going to happen in 2 years? What about my kids? Like this, like that, like that, like that. All these stories, because the mind is such a great storyteller. And later, before we end, I'm going to be doing what Russ was doing, tapping. So we're going to be doing tapping on to release anxiety from the body, because it's about time. And the most important thing is, I'm going to share this with you. Go do your work, whatever work that is. It just so happened my work is meshed together with my job. But my purpose is to be here with you. That's my purpose, because I work for the universe. I work for God. And every single person has a purpose. When we're in a state of quandary, when we're looking for that, because we found our purpose yet. And be kind to yourself, because you're going to find it. And when you find it, it's going to be okay. Whatever that is. I'm not saying tomorrow go be a therapist like us or life coach like us. You could be, I don't know, volunteering somewhere, like have a soup kitchen for all we care, as long as you're doing the work of the universe.
Awesome.
And
I love it.
don't get angry with the people in your past, because they're there to shape you to the person that you are right now. Remember, we choose our parents. We chose our parents.
Yeah.
Did I talk too much?
I love it. I love
love I mean, Saps, I love what you're saying because it really makes sense. And I love it that maybe for some people to really understand this on a language, always remember that negative charge I have against another person is a negative charge I have against myself. Okay. Number two, hurt people hurt people, which means if there are people in my life that are hurting me because they're simply hurting deep inside. So it's either I take it in and take it personally, or just take a deep breath and taking a look at it. Because again, especially people who raised us, who raised me. Number one, they were never school for parents. Number two, they're just coming from how they were raised by their parents, maybe. And number three, they're also going through a lot with their inner child that was showing up for you. So it's the best way, really, as I said, okay, first recognize I feel shitty. release it energetically, responsibly. Release it energetically, responsibly. So which means last last Thursday, I did not confront people to tell them how I felt, da 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 da. I released it responsibly through my inner work. Okay. And then my hug that day was just imagining the person who I felt really got hurt the most. And all I said was just, I love you. You are forgiven. Please forgive me if there's anything I did to you, but you are forgiven. You are forgiven. I love you. I love you. I love you. And that was my healing myself so I can heal the person who's actually not in the country. Okay. And again, we were all programmed that the moment we are resentful, which means masama ang loob natin. Okay. The programming here is from the resentment, we move directly to resistance, which means it's either I don't want to talk about it. Okay. It's a flight or fight mode. Okay. And the moment you stay there in the resistance mode, you move to the next R, which is revenge. It's either I want to hurt this person, but you know what? The worst revenge is because you're hurting yourself because you're keeping this. And all your life, it's all about what? Regrets. My suggestion here is the moment, okay, because your mind will lie to you. You will say, okay lang yan, may lesson dyan, but your heart is angry. Again, first, listen to how you feel. Do not deny yourself from feeling. So again, this is what we call awareness. Okay? And if I can give you a quick exercise around awareness, can everyone sit up straight? Sit up tall. And I just want you to take deep breath in 6 seconds. Inhale. Exhale. One more time. Inhale. Exhale. Last time. Inhale. And exhale. Okay? So which means the moment you feel bad trip, the moment you feel negative, the moment you feel hurt, don't act right away. Pause, move back, heal, and just breathe in, breathe out. This is what we call mindfulness. This is what we call awareness. And the next awareness here is whatever is going on outside, that's inside me. Whatever is going on outside, that's inside me. So therefore, I want to start taking care of me before I start to act on it. And that's where awareness comes in. It's an exercise for you to pause, for you to recognize, for you to understand that you always have a moment of choice versus reaction. Reaction, that's why it's called responsibility, because I have the ability to respond by not going and diving into it right away, but just push back and breathe. Exhale. And maybe asking myself, what do I want to grow myself from this? How do I want to allow myself to go through this? How can I learn about this? How can I just turn this into something that I can truly grow? And that's a practice that you can do. That's why, if possible, do your research, look at meditation, look at mindfulness, look at all of this, because that is the ultimate key so that I don't get trapped. Just like what Sap was saying, everything starts here. The mental illness becomes now an emotional pain. The mental pain becomes an emotional pain. And the moment you stay in the emotional pain long enough, your body is not at ease. It now becomes dis-ease. Then it now moves to a physical pain. Then you stay there long enough, it becomes disease. Until how many years? It becomes cancer. And it's really you now understanding that at the end of the day, it's just you being able to, like what was saying, go to the natural way, healing yourself. Because there's a lot of means and ways that perhaps I love. Saps would actually later on maybe give us some tools. Most powerful tool, believe me. No, I have 2 cousins went in COVID in UK. I gave them EFT. All of a sudden, after a day, he said, it's gone. EFT really works. Okay. So I'll pause here. Yanni, any comment that you would love to read and just allow people to be engaged in our conversation?
Yeah, coach. I'm reading. Actually, I got a message no through Rainiel, who's actually texting everyone. Sabi niya, I hope you will save this live through your Facebook page. I would love to go back on this live every day to remind me every day with all of these learning. So I'm just in tears. I'm understanding everything slowly. Thank you for this opportunity. On our chat, we have May saying, in releasing emotions, sabi ni Saps, number one, do not harm yourself. And number two, of course, do not harm others. Everything we do on earth is a lesson. Coach Jill, of course, saying, love the sincerity and genuineness of everyone. Uh, a lot of turmoil. Okay. Mine is Saps, do not harm yourself, hit me. Ayan, sabi ni Jen. It reminds me of my experience 9 years ago when I was about to commit suicide. Thank you for this talk and did a reminder that life is wonderful. A lot of comments. You mentioned earlier that there's also a live. Yes, it's currently live on my Facebook page. It's facebook.com/Coach Yani Moya. So if you just check it out, you can share it so that more people can understand what's happening and more people can learn from all our speakers this afternoon. So yeah, just leave your comments here and we'll proceed, Coach.
Yeah, I'd like to ask Coach Jill, as she's raising her hand. Go ahead, Jill.
Yes,
Anything?
yes, Coach. I just got reminded now with what you just shared and what SAPS also shared about the placebo effect. I just want to share with everybody a resource that you might want to dive into as well. It's from Dr. Joe Dispenza. He's the author of You Are the Placebo. So it talks about without relying on any external substances, you can actually make internal changes in your health and ultimately in your life. No? So it's a really powerful tool as well. He shares meditation or prayer that can also support us, or even the six-phase meditation that Russ and Aquest with Yanni also do. Yun lang. Thank you, Coach.
Awesome.
Thanks,
Thank you.
Yanni.
Saps is also raising her hand. Go ahead, Saps.
You know, the story of Joe Dispenza is phenomenal.
Yeah, I absolutely love it. Go ahead, Saps.
With his own mind, because he's a triathlete, okay, and with he got hit by a he was in a his this was in the 80s. He was in his bicycle trying to do whatever they do. Clearly I'm not that athletic. So anyways, a big bus hit him from behind and he just fell, and he hit his back, and he was rushed to the hospital, and the doctor said that because it's a spine, you're never going to be able to walk again. And he said that's not going to happen. He used the power of his mind, guys, the mind. He fixed vertebrae by vertebrae by vertebrae to make sure that he was going to walk again. Doctor said not going to happen. He was able to do it in few months, walk out and be on the bike again. And that's the power of your mind. But one thing I just want to say something before I forget. We are not bad people. We don't come here on earth to take revenge. When a baby is born, the baby is nothing but happy. We don't choose color of skin. We don't choose anything. We just are love. We want our mom. We want the people near us, like our parents or whatever. We come here. Love is our DNA. It's who we are. So the heart is never going to tell you to be angry. The heart will always tell you to forgive. The heart will tell you it's about time to release, but the mind is going to tell you a backstory. Do you remember what that person did? Do you remember this? All the files are going to start to come out.
Yeah.
And when this and this are not together, that's what's going to happen. Now, to be clear about, because some people know me here, know my work, some people don't. There's density in the body. So that emotion that has happened one too many times looks for density in the body. And that's where the disease
You
hits.
store.
It needs to store somewhere where there's density. So we look at the body finds its place. Do you want me to give you an example of one disease, and let's look for the metaphysical? Sure.
Yeah.
Let's see. What do you want? And
Uh,
break.
lower back pain.
Okay, when you don't support yourself. The back represents support. When you're hoping that others are going to support you. Example, my husband is going to support me. My wife is going to support me. Do support yourself. It's your back, it's your spinal, it's your lumbar system, it's your system.
How about neck pain?
Neck pain here, it's where here? It's money. It's money. It's
Oh,
because you're constantly worried about money. Now, Amica Valenzuela, cancer. Can you tell me what cancer?
How about headache?
Anger. Breast cancer. Wait, hold on, guys. Mika Valenzuela. Breast cancer is deep upset of an inner child towards the mom. Why? Because she felt she wasn't nurtured or he wasn't nurtured. It's a mother issue. Chronic, I'm just going to answer one more. Otherwise, it's never going to end.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Chronic, what's this? So, lung cancer, Ryan Contreras. Lung cancer is when you store a lot of unprocessed emotions, grief, and sadness in your lungs.
Can I share something? There was a time in last year, it's really my throat. It's always dry, no matter how much. And when I started reading about what's the meta, whatever, meta what? But meta,
Physical.
yeah. There's something or someone in my life that is hard to swallow. The moment I dealt with that person and say, hey, it's not working anymore, I love you, and I will miss you, goodbye.
But
Automatic.
the thing, you could not speak your truth.
That's it.
So there's this lump here. Two more things I want to answer. Kidney, kidneys is fear. Fear towards mother, father, because you have two. Stroke is when you have lost joy in your life.
Saps, did I get that right? You call all of these metaphysical illnesses? Did I get that right?
Because the body will hold on to that for you. So for me, in my studies, I've gone into liver because the liver is the most important organ in the body because it purifies your blood, which you need. So liver holds on to anger, resentment, jealousy, rage. Come on, raise our hands. We all have it. We all have it. Come on, Jill, you don't have anger?
Yeah, I do. I was just typing.
Actually, what's going to happen is we eat also based on that emotion. So we like the fatty food, we like the sweets, the yanni, the non-stop milk teas and all that, the sugar. I call her out every webinar.
Every post on Instagram story.
But understand, the reason why I'm saying this is befriend your body. Befriend your body. Your body's surviving for you. It's taking a beating every single day just to keep you alive. And so when you do your I love you, thank you, please forgive me, go to your organ that needs it. So for example, if there's no organ that's the issue, in your meditation, thank you, eyes, for seeing the beauty of the world. Thank you, ears, because I can hear the sound of nature and the sound of my mom's voice, and I can hear my own voice. Thank you, lips. Thank you, mouth, because I'm speaking my truth. Thank you, thyroid, because I'm speaking my truth. Thank you. You go to every part of your body because your body listens to you.
In fact, no, the areas in your body that you don't like,
Mm.
those love handles, thank them because they will actually cooperate and they will go to the places where they need. And seriously, I mean seriously, I tested it, SAPS, And I started holding my tummy and say, I love you, I care for you, I appreciate you, and I want you to go to places where you want to be. And they started going up. And seriously, I tested it at 49. I just took a photo of myself today. It worked, it worked, it worked. Seriously. But the way you do it is not just words, because words are just 7%. 38% is the emotion. It's just really your body feels that appreciation. Your heart is beating for you. It's so alive. Thank you.
Your heart has not missed a beat.
Exactly. Okay. In fact, I kiss my knees and say, thank you. You're working for me. These fingers, thank you so much. Okay. I
Yeah.
just appreciate. I started appreciating my hair. It's growing already. I mean, seriously, it's so miraculous. And I test it every day, and it allowed me to really feel young, feel good. And more than that, it's not just that, but it's really what I do after what I do. My daily morning routine is to really take care of my body.
Yeah, but many people will say, well, I have nothing to hide. I'm vain. I'm super vain. But I love the body that I'm in. Why? Because my soul is in my body.
Yeah.
So if I don't take care of my body, how will my soul thrive, and how will I live my purpose with passion? So I that's why I'm not saying to anyone, but like the choices that I've made for myself, like I don't drink alcohol anymore except once in a while. Drink red wine, or I'm plant-based because I love the body that I'm in. Not in a vain way, but because my soul needs to thrive, because I'm still here, I'm working on my mission, and I need my body. Because I can't kind of go out to Rustans and buy another body, right? It's not gonna happen.
It's not possible. If it's possible, then everyone will do that. Anyway,
Exactly.
maybe Psalms, just to make sure that everyone's on track with us. No, perhaps we can give them some tools to allow them the moment they feel anxious, the moment they feel worried, the moment they feel that they're into it. Again, maybe let's just exchange practices. For me, one of the things that the moment I mean, I don't know, a lot of people knows me really here a lot. No, um, you may think that I'm the most positive human being alive. You may think so. Okay, not all the time, but the moment I see myself going down the hill, Saps, okay, it's because I just ask myself, what did I do the other day? No, there was a time during the GCQ. I started watching a series in Netflix, and the series was all about rape, murder, until I spent 13 hours of all rape, murder, anger, betrayal, etc., etc. And then I slept really dark, and I woke up really heavy, and negative news came in. I started creeping my body, and I noticed myself anxious. So again, the first tool, ladies and gentlemen, is watch what you feed your mind. Because whatever you feed your mind, it will be reinforced with that small voice. And the small voice that's always going for me is, you are unloved, no one likes you, you're not good enough. And the moment I start feeding this with all of the movies, with all of the videos, that's pulling me down. That's why, Jasmine, you were told not to do social media, because the moment you open social media, people are bashing each other. People are celebrating whatever mistake that they perceive to be. And you get affected. Why? Because I'm exposed to this, and they're laughing about her, and I'm laughing about her, and I started creating a joke around it. But here's the thing, I absorb it as if I'm hurting uh, whoever she is, no, that's popular right now, but I'm actually hurting me. Why? Because I exposed myself, I indulged myself, I enjoyed myself, and little did I know this is how I move the whole day. Go ahead, Jasmine.
Yeah, yes, coach, I agree. That's definitely what I feel whenever I'm consuming all of these, like, even just words, tweets of people or comments of people on a certain video. When you indulge and when you let yourself accept all of that information, kasi it starts to make my brain think, at least, na parang, oh nga no, baka nga ganun siya, or baka nga that's something I didn't see. And then your brain just trickles off into this, like, thinking of that issue, or thinking of that that news article or even that scandal or chismes, and it's not your reality, and it's not vital for your survival, and you're allowing yourself to consume that, and it gets in the way, and then it impedes on my growth, and on my chances of allowing myself to transform, because yun nga, it's not what I need, and I allow myself to consume it. It's like food, much like what Saps was saying, like what's right for your body, and but we tend to go to the comfort, and we want to choose that because it gives us that comfort. And maybe for some people, going on social media gives them a sense of comfort because they can voice out their opinions, but at the same time, it's not just you now putting out that opinion, it's other people consuming that opinion. Hindi lang ikaw yung kumakain ngayon. Ang daming kumakain ng binigay mo sa labas. So it's also about being responsible, and I felt like being on that platform and doing, just watching, or not, maybe not even speaking up responsibly about it, it made me feel so useless. It made me feel like I'm not doing something about it, but at the same time, that's not my responsibility all the time. And I had to give myself that acknowledgement that hindi mo naman responsibility to correct everyone on social media. Hindi mo naman responsibility na turuan yung mga hindi mo kaugnayan in your political beliefs or whatever beliefs in the world, be it religious or political. And we just tend to get ahead of ourselves because we now see that there's a platform for everyone to speak, but we disregard the responsibility that comes with it. So I'm trying to learn that responsibility again. I've known it from the start, but syempre nadadala tayong lahat. And yun, I just had to put myself back there again, coach, and kind of like learn to be responsible again, so that I don't hurt people or I don't add to that environment.
Perfect.
Can I say something?
Go ahead, please.
26, Jasmine is very smart. You're very smart. And you got to learn to love yourself because you have a lot of wisdom in you. You know when to say no and you know when to say yes. At 40 something, a lot of people don't even know half of what you know. So I'm glad that you're quiet when you see you need to be quiet. And I'm glad that you're not burning yourself out.
Yeah.
Because when the dust settles, you're holding the space for a lot of people. So right now you're actually resting and rejuvenating because a lot of people are going to come to you, but you should know the difference because a lot of them want your positivity. Okay? And it's not your job to give it to everybody. Just as not just for Jasmine, for everyone here. It's not your job to give what you don't have. Okay? And if you do have a little bit, then you can, but make sure that you don't go empty. That's just what I wanted to say.
Very nice.
That's why I don't like social media. Sorry.
And I guess just to add, sorry, coach, I'm also very thankful for my psychiatrist and my life coach in the last 10 years. I've gone through a few people, but I definitely picked up many different learnings from all of them, and I'm glad I can share it as early as this age, because I feel like, especially people exposed to all this technology and not knowing what it is to live a slow life, or at least a life that you're actually in contact with people. I feel like maybe not enough is being done to also get the information across to them or to teach them that. And I'm in a way, advantage ko to have that kind of background in my childhood that made me seek a psychologist or a coach, a life coach. So thank you. It's not all me. I had a lot of help, and I'm glad I have also good friends now that can give me the support once they saw me giving me my full support too.
Awesome. I truly appreciate you sharing, Jasmine, and really taking a look at on how You can serve yourself first so you can serve other people. And it's a lifelong journey, never ending serving yourself, because when you start feeling yourself, it will just flow naturally. Again, I'll go back before I bring this back to Yanni. Most important part here is be careful the input you put in here, because what you put in here becomes a mental pain, and a mental pain becomes an emotional pain becomes a physical pain, and just be very careful with what you pray to your mind. So having said that, Yanni, go ahead. Questions, comments from our from
Okay, Coach, I think we have a question from Jella. Go ahead, unmute and speak, or do you want me to read your comment? Sige, okay, read na lang daw. Okay. I think this is for SAPs, no? For us to avoid to have those illnesses, we have to speak our truth. But what do we need to do for us to speak that truth and surpass the fear of speaking the truth? Yan. I wish we could touch more on this. SAPs?
Again, sorry, I couldn't understand the question. I couldn't hear you.
Okay. So question is for us to avoid those illnesses, the ones he said about metaphysical, we have to speak our truth. And what do we need to do for us to speak the truth and surpass the fear of speaking the truth?
Well, first of all, it depends on what the illness is, because not everything is, if I tell you go speak your truth, you're going to speak with a lot of anger because there's a lot of resentment. I didn't say go speak your truth. I said speak your truth. Sometimes you don't even need to do that to another person who's hurt you. You don't need to go and say, you hurt me. But you need to understand that that person is just a mirror in your life, and that who you really hurt was actually yourself. So have that internal conversation with your own self. And when you keep doing that and keep loving yourself and keep holding the space for yourself and forgiving yourself for feeling those emotions or whatever it is that you went through. I'm not gonna sit here and try to understand what you went through because I don't know anything. um you don't need to feel like you have to tell this other person how you felt, because when you do that, you're coming from a space of ego. And sometimes where you're at is not where they're at, and you have to learn to just let that go, and you have to learn to forgive yourself for that moment you didn't know any better. We all don't know a lot of things. We're learning every single day. For it not to become a disease, well, don't fret. Don't live your life now with whatever it is that you learn in anxiety, like, oh my God, this is what happened to me. Now this is, I'm going to get sick. Because again, with the placebo effect, you're going to get sick because you're attracting it. It's the energy that you're putting towards not getting sick. Just I think what we're gonna do in the next few, the tapping, I'll try to focus in as much I'll hold the space for you guys, and then we'll see what comes up. You don't need to say anything. You just need to feel your emotions, because your emotions are your guide. Emotions is happiness, sadness, jealousy, whatever it is, these are emotions. But understand that we are always gonna have these emotions. We just want it to be a more positive one. And speaking your truth, the most importantly is speak kind words to yourself. Don't degrade yourself. Don't say bad things about yourself. Don't say that you're so tanga, you're so ganyan, you're so ganyan, ano ba? Don't speak that way to yourself. And um, be kind
Okay.
to yourself. I love myself. I'm learning every single day, and I'm gonna do better.
Yeah, what I got from that SAPS is just be kind to yourself and say all these good things to yourself first. I think what Jella meant here and what SAPS was mentioning about the speaking the truth is if you get the meaning of throat, the metaphysical meaning of hurting, throat hurting, tama ba? Am I right?
Actually, in order for me to dissect it, what is the presenting issue, so that we can
Oh,
go.
Jella, opportunity to be coached. Jella, where are
Yes,
you?
Jella, go.
Jella,
Go ahead.
I want to answer this one sec. Question, Christine, to everyone. My question is depression genetics. No, nothing is genetics. Lifestyle is genetics.
True.
Go ahead, Jella. Go ahead.
Hi, hello. Good afternoon po,
Hi, good afternoon.
Jella. Okay, I was just asking because we've been dwelling on um more on speaking good to ourselves. It's like more of self-love, isn't it? So, for example, we meron tayong hindi kagandahan ng loob sa ibang tao. And then how we want to resolve the issue. So, how do we surpass the fear of maybe if confronting is not the best way to do it? What would be?
Well, I'll
Since
ask this question. Why is it disrupting your peace?
I'm sorry, I didn't
Anything
get.
that I'll ask this question. Why is it disrupting your peace? Because if it's disrupting your peace, it's something that you have to change within your own self.
Mm,
Do you understand?
yes,
If it's
I
something that
understand.
we don't like about another person, is this something that I'm understanding? You don't like this about that person. It's not that person. It's you. You have
Okay.
to change that because that person is just showing you. This person is an actor trying to portray a role.
So it's still me and how I am going to.
It's always about you.
Yes.
Life
Okay.
is always about you. It will always be about you. It's always going to be you, you, you. Lessons, everything, journey, everything's all yours. In this realm of this world, we meet people in our lives to teach us about ourselves, but we don't like the teacher. That's the thing. So when you go to school and the, like, let's say you're grade 3, you like your English teacher, you like your you use our Spanish, you like your English teacher, you like your science teacher, but you hate your math teacher.
Hmm.
You hate your math teacher. And the fact that you hate your math teacher, you're never going to excel in math because she's just teaching you something that you need to know, because you need to know that 6 times 3 is 18, but you don't want to learn it. And then you made it personal. You made it very personal. She's like this, and you know you're not thinking about what she's doing. You're like, she's like this, she's so masama, she's like this, she's like that, all these all these stories na naman in your head. But she's just trying to teach you 6 times 3 is 18, but you don't want to learn it. So can you progress to the next level when you don't even know what 6 times 3 is?
No.
So there you go.
Thank
And
you. Thank you, Coach Saps.
You're
the
welcome.
context, Saps, no, and Jella, it's really the awareness that whatever is going on outside your world, it's a direct reflection of what's inside. The reason why I am angry with this person is not because of what he did or what he said to me. It's because there's anger in my heart. Did that make sense, Jella? And it's really
Yes,
just
sir.
the awareness that it's never about them, but it's about what can I deal with me, so that when I see this person, I see this person differently already. Because obviously, whoever comes into my life, they have a big lesson. Because it's easy to take away people in my life. That's easy. However, the next person who will come in my life will still be the same or even worse, but different name, different maybe color, different form, but it's still showing up because I haven't learned that lesson in me. And that's what I call awareness. That when I don't feel right about something, I go deep inside. What is it about me that I'm reacting this way? What is it? What's going on inside? And maybe the bigger question here is, like today, I just posted something. Okay, people who are perceived to be difficult to be in relationship with is God's greatest gift for me to expand my capacity to love and forgive. That's their lesson for me. That's why at the end of the day, that's why I call it bugs in my seminar. And the reason why people are not moving forward, the reason why maybe people are depressed because we carry internal bags. Okay. B stands for blame. No, I'm miserable because this is what he did to me.
Okay, and then if you cannot blame this person anymore, you turn to letter A, which is anger. Now I'm angry. So no one can touch you because you're angry already, and people have to understand you. And then because you're done with your anger, you now move to guilt. I should have not done it. It has to, it hindi dapat nangyari. Okay? And then you move to the last letter G is what, the S is what you call shame. Then you take it on you. So you notice all of this BAGS, it's still directed towards me. That's why there's heaviness in my heart because I want to blame others of my misery. I'm angry because this is what they said. Okay? And then after this B and A, the guilt is actually an anger directed towards myself. And the shame is expectation of others that you have not been meeting. And people are playing their bugs game all the time. Not unless you are aware that whatever is going on external, it's what's inside that's showing up. What did you get from that, Jella?
A lot. A lot of realizations, Coach Ross. And it's more on really in myself eh. It starts within myself. Talaga. Maybe while listening, no, I just get reminded of my ano ba, misunderstanding with one of my colleagues about political views. It's just we have different political views, and what's really happening now is really pressing, and it's just that I think what I did there was I was angry, but I was able to contain it in myself, and I just tried to understand her view, which is different from my view. But when I got hurt, because she was telling me I'm being apathetic on what's happening, I just it makes me angry, of course. But I think the what I did there was, I think, the best for us. I just told her my side, and I know in myself that I understand her, but there's really nothing's gonna happen if we're just going to burst our anger in each other. So I think I really realized that it's really important for me to just pause for a while and then understand what's happening, and um just be understanding of others. And if we have different views, I shouldn't just go bump with her and say, no, my views is right and yours is wrong. No, we just have to, yes, we have our own voice, but we just have to respect. It's just, atop of it is to just have respect for each other.
Yan yung sinasabi ni Saps na ego.
Yes.
Yes.
Ella, you're gonna
Ultimate-
you're gonna meet a lot of people like that in your life.
Yeah, I think so.
the number one biggest addiction in the world, people would rather die, is really the need to be right. That's the biggest addiction. That's
Yeah.
why people get into cancer. That's why there's war. There's broken family, broken relationship. Because I want to be right. Nothing wrong about being right, but because if I want to be right, that makes you wrong. And maybe there's no conflict. I say, okay, that's your opinion. Great, thank you. I appreciate you sharing opinion. God bless you. Will there be conflict?
No.
Which means I'm suspending my need to be right because you're right about your opinion and I have my own opinion. It's separate. But here's the thing. I respect, I honor you with your opinion. God bless you.
Yes.
May conflict, wala.
And cut the conversation after that.
May,
Yes.
may conflict, wala.
Wala.
That's what SAP is saying.
You're okay.
You don't
Ego
need
is
to
the biggest addiction in the world. In fact, 99.99%, including I, have an ego need. How do I know I have an ego need? I get offended. I get irritation. I get upset. This is not right. You're wrong. You're wrong. I'm right. And that's where all the conflict comes in.
But can I say something?
Please.
The ego we have good and bad ego. The good is to save us, the bad is to keep us, to, like I said, to keep that veil for your inner children. But when you make the ego your friend, meaning what Russ is saying, that we're aware that there's that ego, like, oh my God, you're there. Then we make better choices for ourselves. Our ego is not gonna die.
Still awareness.
It's it comes with us because it's there. It's like a compass. It's a compass to keep to guide us wherever we need to go, but it can either rule our lives or we rule the ego. But when this situation happens, don't extend or don't give out any more energy that you freaking don't have right now, and you're giving it off to somebody else. You know what I mean? Because right now in this crisis that we're in, we're all feeling a lot of emotions, and keep that energy for yourself. Don't waste it on other people and their political views, because they're always going to have views, because that's the spice of life.
Yeah.
And when you understand that, you just know when to bow out and say, this is not worth my time.
You know what's the opposite of ego, Jella?
What?
Ego stands for, according to Wayne Dyer, edging God out, which means
Oh.
this is wrong. What you're saying is, God, you're wrong. The opposite of ego is God. Okay, according to Wayne Dyer. Okay, why? Because when I am on my ego mode, I feel bad. Okay, but when I am not on my ego mode, I feel good. So therefore, the goal here is just to feel good, because when I feel good, I feel God. Why? Because God is good. But what's taking me away from this connection to the source, to the universe, or to my God Almighty is my ego need to be right, that they're wrong. And again, what you need to watch out, what you need to be aware of is your feelings. When I feel bad today, okay, what's my ego need? Okay, my ego need to be heard, my ego need to be recognized, my ego need to be whatever your ego need that was not fed. That's why you felt bad, and you have a moment to pause and take a deep breath. Do I let go of this ego, or makikipag-away ako? Kung makikipag-away ako, that was what was saying, the dark side of the ego will win, because your choice is to fight back, to resist, or I let go and be friends. Okay, the ego is showing up. Okay, tame my ego. What is this teaching me? How can I be best friends with this? Okay, I can grow with this. Now I'm excited because I am now overcoming this ego need to be what? To be liked, to be approved. Uh, all of this ego. Good? Thank you.
Good.
Yani?
Thanks, Coach.
Thank you, Jella. A lot of people learn from your sharing and your story. I think Jasmine was raising her hand.
Yeah,
Go
I
ahead.
just
Go
want
ahead.
to add siguro kasi may nagdagdag din ng question about being reactive to political views. And I guess I could be somewhat of an example, because my boyfriend and I, he's in politics and his family is also in politics. And, you know, we have very different views sometimes pagdating sa politics. And definitely that can come to a lot of arguments or disagreements among friends, even couples or marriages and families. I'm sure parents are fighting with kids and etc. about certain political views, and it's happening all over the world. And the thing is, yun nga, like what Coach and Sap said, it's about respect, and it's about knowing na I'm not gonna let this enter my peace. I'm not gonna let this external factor na hindi naman ikaw directly, you know, you can't impact that all on your own. We're a nation, it's a community thing. Don't take it upon yourself to hold that responsibility na kailangan i-correct mo yung political view ng ibang tao, because yun nga, we all have our own views, and we all learn to grow from our views. And sometimes people also teach you other things by their views, and just welcome it. If you have the time, if you have enough peace within yourself to welcome what they have to say, let them, so that they get to say their piece and let out what's in their head. But don't shut it down, don't shut them down, because they have their own realities or perspectives also, and you wouldn't want that to be done to you either. And so that's one thing I learned over the last 4 years of being with my boyfriend. You know, there are a lot of things we don't agree on, not just political, but I learned to engage in those conversations, but also distance or end the conversations when I feel like hindi na kami parehong nakaka-benefit from it, or nakaka-learn from each other from it. Kasi what's more important is our relationship and what we share together and the love that we have for each other. So ayokong just because of a political view, we let that end our relationship or destroy it. And I would hate for that to happen for anyone, even your friends, your family members, you know. And it kind of brings me back to what Sap said, na when it comes to your parents, even if you have bad experiences with them and you've learned to love yourself and take care of your inner child, you know, you have to learn to give that back to them too, because they were once children. And it, for me, kind of goes the same with these political views. You know, you have to learn to give that love of agreeing to disagree with that person, because they learn to believe that somewhere, somehow, by influence, and you're not gonna get to the root of that just by fighting them. So there's that room for me to need to understand my partner and need to also understand that hiwalay yon sa love namin. Of course, it's a factor, right? I know people say, hindi mo naman may hiwalay yon kasi beliefs nila yon, and dapat yung person na mamahalin mo, it should be like they reflect what you also believe in, or your views, or whatever. And sure, that's all, like, you know, that's in a perfect utopia. But the thing is, we don't always agree with our partners or our family members on everything, and we just have to have that patience for ourselves and peace for ourselves. And I think yun yung na-learn ko on my own. But now I'm also hearing other things that Coach Russ said, and also Saps, na parang with the bags, na what is it? Blame, anger, and then guilt, and then shame. I've gone through that before when I would engage in my conversations with my boyfriend. I would fight him, and I would really get into it, and talagang, you know, it would come to a point, ayoko na mag-usap, wag na lang natin pag-usapan. Ay, hindi ko na lang i-share sa'yo opinion ko. But that's not healthy either. And it doesn't allow both of us to see each other grow or understand perspectives. Siguro if I can share na lang, quickly lang, for me, when it comes to politics, I've grown to understand that there's more than one person in the government that is working, and there are more than those that we see on the platforms that they have in the government. So we have to understand that, let us not take that responsibility to correct that agad-agad. Let's learn to grow, and let's find the proper resources to correct it or to progress for change. Kasi hindi kayo makakatulong just by ranting on social media. If you say that's allowing you to put out your free speech, also think of how you're impacting other people with your free speech. So, yun, I guess I just wanted to share that because I definitely feel that at home with my boyfriend, but we don't let it get to us because it's more important to love and give that room for each other's individuality as well.
Ang daming comment, Jasmine, na super relate, super relate, super relate. So, you know what I realized, having done work with people all over the world for the past 15 years, especially in a romantic relationship, no? I always believe that a romantic relationship is your soulmate because they're the perfect people who can push the right button for you to go frenzy. Okay? Yeah. But the only question here is my love bigger than my need to be right?
Yes, Coach, exactly. I think that was, in a short sense, yeah, that's exactly my point.
And I would always say, no, you need not to understand people because you really don't understand, okay? But maybe the bigger word for understanding is, kasi pag understand, gigil ka. Versus, okay, tanggap ko na yan. Ganyan talagang paniwala mo. But you know what? I love you no matter what. No? I mean, especially parents, no? Nagwawala yung nanay, araw-araw kasi yung bag, nilapag lang. So which means mas importante pa yung bag na pangalagaan kaysa mahal ko sa anak ko kasi mali yung pagkabagsak ng bag. I mean, just notice all of this playing in family, that the need to be right is bigger than my love for people to accept where they are at that moment. I'm not saying I tolerate it, but I accept where they are at that moment, and being able to just love them no matter what. Go, Yanni.
I love that, Coach. Love and respect over ego. Okay, so I'll just read a few comments here. Okay, teka lang. Yan. Some people, okay, from Denzel, some people have trashed childhoods and that's why they're the way they are. But at some point, you gotta take accountability and decide you want to be better for yourself. Love that. So ito from Jerome, why are people so reactive when it comes to their political views? Ayan, is it something to do with how they were brought up, coach?
Personally, it's still belief system. I mean, I don't want to talk about politics because I have my point of view. No matter how much I bring in my point of view versus the opposite point of view, um, it's gonna be a total war. So what I always say, okay, consciousness of people are that's where they are at that moment, and my only role here is to bless whoever is in the government because that's my contribution more than just speaking ill. That's my personal take on that. Again, I have my own point of view. I don't want to even share about here because again, I grew up in Davao. The president is a second cousin of my dad, and all of these things. So no matter how much people say, I have that, and the opposite, I don't even see it. So that's how belief systems are. But most probably, I have got outgrown this and just bless everyone, including the other side. Which means I only want to speak good. I only want to speak of what I want for myself. Period. Saps, any take on politics?
I also don't want to talk about politics, but I will tell you something. We pick up things from our parents. So we, growing up, if they had very heightened views, or at home, they're very how should I say this? They're very passionate about politics. We as children pick that up. Why? Because we pick up everything. We're sponges. So when we pick that up, we identify it as that's who we are. So we're role playing as well. So later on, we have the same views because we picked it up from somewhere. So I basically don't come from a home that's very political. So I don't have any views on politics except that I want to focus on the world that I live in. I want to focus on myself. I want to focus on my good. I want to focus on bettering myself. And when I'm good, it will translate into the world outside. So that's what I want to focus on. Politics, no, it doesn't interest me. I'd rather worry about me.
Awesome. Thanks. Jasmine, any comment about the question?
Yeah, I think I just have to add on to what Sap said. That's definitely what I'm doing. There's a lot of things that I could be ranting about on social media and joining all my contemporaries about their anger of a certain issue and this and that. But the thing is, right now, I can say for myself that that is not my pressing matter or issue, and I really need to be focused on what is more important to me right now, which is myself, my family, and making sure that I'm okay with my health, mentally, physically, emotionally, but also if any of my family members might need me, I want to be able to be there. So that's why I would rather not kind of dive into that rabbit hole of political conversation, especially if it will not go anywhere, or if it will not be constructive for both or all participants in that conversation.
Awesome. Thanks, Jasmine. So, having said that, maybe this is how I want this to run. No? In a moment, I'll be showing a quick video, being able to just allow everyone, including myself, to know what's the root cause of all of this fear, doubt, anxiety. Okay, it's again a belief system that a lot of people carry because I have an obsession around um, people who I thought got it, nailed it, created the enormous amount of success, which means from show business, and they killed themselves. And the common denominator is the small voice that I want you to identify in this quick video. Okay. After that small voice, I would, if SAPS is okay, we can start working on that issue. We in coaching we call that your general assessment about yourself, the meaning that you put into, the identity that you put into, that you start collecting evidence that yes, this is my identity, even though it's not serving me. You start collecting evidence, and then after which maybe SAPS will get us through the EFT to start working on it, and hopefully you actually practice this whenever you need it. I always practice the EFT with SAPS, and then we'll close it with guiding you through in making sure that you start rebuilding yourself through the exercise that I do every day. And I guess a lot of people was able to get it and use it to themselves, that they transform themselves. So that be okay? Yes? Awesome. So I'll show a quick video. And this video is from, oh, that's my Facebook. Whitney Houston. Oh, shoots. Who was once the most, up until now, maybe the best pop star in the world. Pop superstar.
Whitney was scared. Arguably the biggest pop star in the world wasn't sure if she was good enough. She didn't think she looked right. There were 1,000 things to her that seemed wrong. Father, I said, I have this movie. You're who I'm thinking of. I'm not thinking of anybody else. You know, it's almost yours to lose or to take.
Can I do this movie? Can I really pull this movie off? I mean, I'm playing opposite Kevin Costner. He's, you know, he's well trained and all that kind of stuff. But he knows what he's doing. He's doing it. So something hit me one day and it said, well, you know, Whitney, there will probably never be another role like this for a woman, especially a Black woman, to do. You know, there was a time when I identified with Rachel so much. I was threatened, and there was a letter sent to me. And, you know, the guy threatened me and said that he would take me out, you know. I thought about it for a second. I thought, well, maybe I shouldn't go on, you know. But there's 19,000 people waiting for me.
I held her hand and told her that she looked beautiful. I told her that I would be with her every step of the way. That everyone there wanted her to succeed. But I could still feel the doubt.
He said, don't worry. He said, I will be there with you. And he said, believe me, you're going to be a natural at it. He said, you're going to be just great in this film. And I was going, well, how do you know this? I had a miscarriage during the filming of The Bodyguard. It was very painful, emotionally and physically. I was back on the set the next day.
Kevin cares. Kevin really cares. Kevin takes the time.
veins get for any of us. I mean, if we can somehow hold on, our life can be in a really different place a couple years from now. The Whitney I knew, despite her success and worldwide fame, still wondered, am I good enough? Am I pretty enough? Will they like me? It was the burden that made her great and the part that caused her to stumble in the end. Whitney, if you could hear me now, I would tell you, you weren't just good enough. You were great. You sang the whole damn song without a band, and people didn't just like you, Whitney. They loved you. All those young girls who are dreaming that dream, but maybe thinking they aren't good enough. I think Whitney would tell you, guard your bodies and guard the precious miracle of your own life. And then sing your hearts out, knowing that there's a lady in heaven who is making God himself wonder how he created something so perfect. So off you go, Whitney. Off you go. Escorted by an army of angels and your heavenly Father. When you sing before him, don't you worry. You'll be good enough.
And everyone, just take a deep breath. Okay. What do you think was the issue as a general assessment of a lot of people, maybe almost everyone? What issue was that, Jasmine? What was her issue?
Not feeling like she was good enough.
Anyone can relate? Self-doubt? And perhaps it's something that I, up until now, still working on myself. And a lot of tools and techniques that we can actually use. So, Saps, do we have something for them to work on not good enough issues?
Let it all come out. I don't know what's going to come out in EFT.
Awesome.
All right. I'm a little dark. Let me just turn on the light. Is better. All right. Being true to what the topic is all about, which is fear and anxiety, how about we do 2 rounds of EFT? I want to do 1 round with fear and anxiety. How is it coming up in the body and how to release it naturally? And we're going to talk about not being good enough. And let's see how it cascades into whatever needs to happen. All right. So when I do EFT, I don't target the points because when I deal with my clients personally, I don't want them to lose the momentum of like, oh, where do I go now? You know? So what do? We do EET. It's the same thing, but it's a summarized version. And for me, it's always the heart. Place your hand on the heart. For now, we're going to do releasing anxiety and fear from the body. Okay? So I have my notes because I've been doing this seemingly a lot. So hand in the heart. Close your eyes. Take 3 lung-filled breaths. Expand those lungs. Try to hold as much as you can. And release. So we want to breathe in for 4, hold for 5, exhale for 8 if we can. What are we doing? We're exhaling anxiety, fear, stress, things that we don't need to hold on to anymore. So inhale, 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold that breath. Feel the lungs expand. And exhale. When you exhale, I want you to go, get it out of you. Don't be shy. It's just you. I mean, if you want to just turn off your video, fine, do what you want, but I want you to be doing this. One last time, breathe in, expand the lungs, hold as much breath as you can. Breath is life, and hold as much as you can. And release more than you've taken in. You can say this to yourself out loud, or you can just say it to yourself silently. All this fear and anxiety, I notice how it feels in my body. I now know where this is coming from. I notice the weight of all these emotions that's coming up. That just came up, or that's been there for a while. I find it so hard to relax. I find it so hard to breathe. I find it so hard to just be. With everything that's going on, this is a lot to handle. It feels like I've been doing this for a while now. I'm feeling this anxiety, this fear, this stress in my body. I urge you to now tap into the area that you feel is giving you anxiety. The body is going to show you. Let it guide you. Okay, very good. Just go where it needs to go. Fabulous. You guys are doing it. Think about what's giving you anxiety right now. Let those emotions come up. If it's fear, let it come up. It's about time you let it come up. What is this anxiety about? Let it come up. What is this presenting in my world? Be present with your thoughts for a while and allow it to come up. Whatever fear that's coming up right now, just let it come up. Watch it come up, but don't envelope yourself in the fear. Just breathe through all of that emotion, that tension. Just breathe it all. Breathe through it. Just breathe it, breathe through it all. Let it come up. I'm going to give you 30 seconds to a minute to just let it come up and deal with it. It's here, wherever it is. Just tap. What's coming up? What's this fear trying to tell you? Fear of the future? Fear of the unknown? What? Now's your time to really let this emotion speak to you. You can't run from your emotion. These are all your emotions, and it's here. You're acknowledging that it exists, but you don't want it to stay. So what's coming up? Let it come up. And if you have to release. If you want to cry, cry. Cry it all out. Cry it all out. Let go of all these emotions. I don't need you in my life anymore. Thank you for teaching me what you've come to teach me. Thank you. Out. Just get it out of you. This is not me. I am not my emotions. I am not my thoughts. I am a wonderful, wonderful child of God. I am happy. I will make good any situation that comes my way. Place your hand in your heart. I choose to be present in this exact moment, right here, right now. As you breathe, just release the anxiety and fear, whatever it is. Breathe deeply and let it go. Let it go. Just let it go. I am safe. I am okay. I am calm. I am relaxed. When you're ready, you can open your eyes. How did that feel?
I feel lighter, to be honest, and just feeling that my heart is open to good things. Anyone?
I'll add to that. I feel very calm. I feel calm with my thoughts too, even if they're usually thoughts that do bring about my anxiety or my fear. Even if they are my fear, um, it's present in my thoughts right now. I know they are my fear, but I feel like I was able to breathe through it, and I can kind of like start somewhere to process it now. Even if it's just an inch, even if it's just one step of deciding to do this every day, I feel like I'm calmer.
One more round. Not good enough.
Stop, sorry. What's the meaning of EET again?
EET is like EFT.
Emotion.
It's just when I'm in therapy, my teacher, it's very hard. We're not allowed to touch in therapy, right? I'm not gonna touch anyone because even to give them tissue. So we do EET. It's gonna show up in the body instead of going through like this, and then they're gonna be like, "Oh, sorry, what? Where? Oh, I forgot that." The momentum is gone. Now, for me, I've been doing EFT for like almost 15, 20 years. I know exact like the points I know, but the thing is my clients don't. And I want to target bam where it's showing in the body. For example, this part, I saw Jill do this. So instead of going through all that place, just go straight here. Just do this. Okay, just keep like, for example, that's the area, do this. Okay, what is this trying to come up? Like, what are this tension, all this tension? What is this? I feel heavy, but I want to release you, because these are all, remember one thing, we're all a ball of energy. We're energy. Money is energy. We're energy. This is all energy. So when we focus on the point, the pressure point, the main pressure point that's giving us the problem, for example, the knee, okay, the knee is ego. So when you know the metaphysical, like when you're with me in therapy, I go direct to the ego. Like, what is this ego trying to tell you? How is this showing up? You know, or this, like money, like afraid of money, afraid of like whatever it is, you know, like the financial burden, it's all on the person. And you just need to release that, because the body is, you don't want the body to get sick. So you want that flow of energy. So for me, EFT is all these points. EET is direct, go into that area that the body's showing you where you need to tap, 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 tap. All right. But for me, because when I do webinars, I don't know where their points are. So I just say heart. Just heart, because your heart is calm. It's going to speak to you. The heart will dictate how it's going to release. All right. Now we're going to do not good enough. I don't have notes for that. Let's just go where we need to go. And sorry, because I'm one person that's very authentic. So whatever's going to come up, let it come up. If you guys cry, I'm known for that. It's so sad. I'm known to make people cry. All right. Place your hand in your heart. Close your eyes. Take 3 deep breaths. Hold and release. Another one. Hold and release. Release more, please. Breath needs to go to the brain. Just place your hand in your heart. You have to, you can repeat after me or not, but just feel what we're going to say. For the many times that I belittled myself, for the many times I thought I was not good enough, for the many times people told me I was not good enough, I took everyone's words and I made it my own. And I thought that was who I was, not good enough. For the times that I didn't know that I needed to love myself, honor myself, take care of myself, I put other people's needs ahead of mine. For the many times that I was so hard on myself because I was not told that I needed to love myself. In fact, I was told I needed to love others before I loved myself. I'm slowly waking up to this realization that that's not good enough. That I need to love me. I need to honor myself, love myself for who I am and who I'm not. I have a lot of flaws. I'm human. I'm going to get through it. But I want to take this opportunity to say, I'm sorry to myself. I'm sorry for all the names I called you, the emotions cost, all these emotions that came up and cost me to be something that I'm not. I'm sorry. I didn't know any better. Please forgive me. I'm never going to do that again. I'm going to learn from now on. For all the times that I did forsake you, for the many times that I didn't make you my friend, I'm so sorry to my inner children that I hurt along the way. People have hurt me, but the most important thing is that I don't hurt myself. And the many times that I hurt you, I'm very, very sorry. Please forgive me. I'm so sorry because I didn't know any better. Now I'm here. Please teach me how to be your friend. Please let me love you. Let me honor you. Let me celebrate you. I'm sorry for the things that I didn't do. I didn't know any better. Now I do. I'm so sorry that I hurt you. I'm so sorry that I thought you were not enough. You are enough. We are enough. I am enough. I love you for all that you are. You beautiful. You're so beautiful. I love you in all your power and magnificence. Thank you for staying put and showing me that I need to come get you. Thank you for showing me the way, and thank you for not giving up on me. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you. I love you because you're a child of God. I love you for all that you are and all that you are going to be. We are enough. I am enough. You, my darling child, are enough. Breathe and let go. Breathe. Let go. Breathe. Let go. And ask your inner child, are you ready to be my friend? Come on, sweetheart, let's do this together. I love you. And I will always love you. When you're ready, you can open your eyes.
Everyone, just continue taking deep breath. Inhale. Exhale. Give us a big smile and let's give Saps a blessing. Send her all the energy. Just send her all the white light. Also for Jasmine, who's courageous enough to open her heart, just send her all that. And for Jasmine and Sam, just receive it. Allow that energy to come into your heart, come into your soul. So take a deep breath. Inhale. Exhale. Good morning. Okay, so that's a practice. Okay, that's very powerful. Remember last Wednesday, I had 5 minutes to do that to me, and then after 5 minutes, shift happens. Okay, so that's one of the many things you can do. Okay, and secondly, before we go, I will give you a major thing that I do on a day-to-day basis. That I'm so fully committed no matter what, because it's just an amazing for me to live an optimal life wherein it's really creating the best health ever, the most loving, fun-filled relationship ever. The blessing of finances are coming in, the growth, the spiritual aspect, but above all, the fun, wherein bliss is just all together. And I call this discipline. No? So can I share with you my discipline every day to keep me floating? So number one, decide a time to wake up every day, hopefully when everyone else is sleeping, because that's your time for yourself. No? According to the love language, you need to spend time to give it to you, quality and quantity. No? So I normally wake up without an alarm every day, 4 a.m. That's just me. Okay, you don't have to follow me, but 4 a.m. to 8 a.m. is all for me. That's my routine. The moment I wake up, I go to number two. This is just my own term. I call it the passive meditation because I just sit down for 10, 15, 20 minutes. Okay, do nothing except just allow myself to open up, okay, and open up and perhaps being able to listen to a guidance, and I call it a download from my creator, because every download that he's gonna give me, that's what I'm gonna use the entire day. So it's about me listening, not me speaking to the universe,
It's just me being sitting there. Okay. Number three is what I call the active meditation. Okay. So the active meditation is I have a pre-recorded 20-minute active meditation that includes anything and everything to just allow me to be present. Okay. So it's active meditation for me is just really I work on me to connect to my source every day. And it's all about remembering who I am as his creator. Okay? Who am I as his creator is number one. Okay? I am compassionate and loving. Therefore, I will begin my active meditation by clearing my mind of what's not working and clearing my heart with all the heaviness, which means no matter what, every day I forgive maybe the same person over and over and over and over and over and over again, and then forgiving myself. Okay. Number two is what I call prayer. But the only prayer I put in there is about gratitude, just saying thank you, saying thank you. I don't ask anything, but it's all about prayer. I the recording I have, there's music that you can say, okay, thank whatever you want to thank for your body, thank whatever you want to thank with your relationship, with your business, with your growth, and above all, what are you thanking yourself for? So that's number two, is prayer of gratitude. Number three is what I call declaration, being able to speak out what you want to happen physically. I see myself as I pray to God that even if I'm 80, 90, 100 years old, I'm still very fit. I'm able to do a lot of things. Just speak it out and allow myself to radiate that energy. And then I also talk about relationship. I talk about business. I talk about where will I bless? How will I bless? Who am I blessing? It's really living my life purpose. Okay. Number four, after speaking out my vision, what I want. Number four is painting a perfect day. So you get to say, today after this, I see myself exercising. Even if you don't want to exercise, you just notice getting the yoga mat. You'll just do it because you said it already. I see myself doing this. I see myself doing that. I see myself accepting this call, just painting a perfect day. And number five is what I call self-love, wherein I'll play a music, and the music is "You Are So Beautiful," and I just imagine God singing to me that I'm whole, I'm perfect, and I will instruct you to give yourself a hug and feel the song. And every day I cry about it, and then I will guide you into just affirm yourself, say I'm whole, I'm perfect, I am enough, I am a blessing, I'm a God's masterpiece. Whatever you want to say to yourself, okay. And maybe there are some people in your life who you feel are unlovable. Imagine also you're hugging them. Imagine you're also giving this to them. It's about you healing yourself, healing that inner child, and healing others' inner child. That can be also one. Okay. And number six, last but not the least, is what we call surrender. And it's all about being able to just acknowledge that everything is completely up to his will, and you're just surrendering to him all whatever it takes. So what I can give you out, if you can support me, what I can give you out is I'm gonna send you a link of the 20-minute meditation that I recorded. And the moment you get used to it, you can recreate your own. That's just a guide. Okay. And I felt it worked for a lot of people. I get a lot of feedback around it. It really helped. Up until now, I'm still using it, by the way. But then again, that's just me. Okay. You can actually create your own. You can do your own research. Most important part is you do it. So I have my passive meditation, I have my active meditation, and then I see to it I also do at least 20 minutes honoring my body, exercise. I do my yoga, I do my walking, and just really seeing myself. I don't punish myself by doing my workout and hurting myself so I have to grow my muscle. No, I just do what I enjoy doing as long as I'm moving my body, because the moment I move my body, I get myself out of that energy. Okay. And last but not the least, I take time, an hour or two, to learn every day. I study every day so that I can be more effective in serving the world, in serving the universe. And with the knowledge I have, with the skills I can give, I'm now serving the world. So which means I'm ready to rock and roll my entire world. So whatever is going on outside my world, yes, I'm affected. I notice it. But you know what? I'm bigger than this because I started my day connecting to my universe, reminding me who I am. So I don't run via battery, I run via the source of the currency of my universe. Okay, so that's a gift. If you want to receive that gift, I have a favor to ask. I have a, what's this? What do you call that, Yanni?
Facebook page,
I
Coach.
have a Facebook page. Write me, let a word or two or a sentence or two about your review of your experience around me, so we can help more people. And then automatically, my team is actually sending you out right away and test it. I'll guarantee you'll have the best morning ever, or maybe tonight before you sleep. It's such a beautiful, beautiful experience that you can start working on yourself. Yani, take it away.
Thank you so much, Coach. Yeah, I love the practice from Saps, and grabe, it moved me to tears. I think I'm just gonna read. I'm just get wait lang, may maingay yun. I'm just gonna read some comments after that moving EFT EET. So okay, wow, grabe. Too many tears. Thank you, Saps. Moving. Thank you, Saps. Thank you so much. So many emotions came up. Thanks a bunch, Saps. Thank you so much. So much tears, but it feels so good. I think we can all agree that that was moving. Thank you, Saps. Love. Thank you. A lot of feeling lightness in my heart right now. Ayan. Thank you, Saps. Yeah, thank you, Saps, for doing that second round of EET. I love it. Coach Russ, yeah. Okay, go ahead, Saps.
I think just like I said, true to form as to why we're here. Just quickly, lang, because I think we had a great chat, all of us. But one thing is, just give me 2 minutes because I do want to talk about anxiety and stress and fear, because that is the main topic of the conversation. So, guys, when you feel anxiety creep up, change the narrative in your head, because anxiety is fear of the future. It hasn't happened. So you are resilient, you're strong enough. Tap into that inner child, get that child in you to actually make great decisions for yourself, for your future. Stress is the fear of now, like, because you're not in now. So stay in the now, ground yourself. My prayer is very simple. If thank you is the only prayer that you say, that's that's it. Don't hurt others. Don't hurt yourself. Don't be at war with yourself. I'm very simple. I'm just gonna share what I feel. People like have asked me professionally for anxiety. Guys, love yourself, treat yourself with a lot of compassion. When you feel like you need to pause. When you feel you need to rejuvenate. You need to rest, repair, digest. That's parasympathetic. Right now you are in sympathetic, which is like this hamster going like this. And when you're praying to God, you're talking to God. When you're meditating, you're downloading what God has to say to you. So when you meditate, you don't hear, you hear right in the middle, because God will guide you to where you need to go. And when we're in a state of anxiety, we have edged God out. That's what ego means, edging God out. Bring God back into our lives, the universe back into our lives, because we are children of God. And God knows exactly what's going to happen to us. We have to have faith. Don't control things that you can't control. What you can control, focus your control on that. Focus your control on eating right, being right, doing what's right. Do not waste your time focusing on the things you cannot control, because that's what's going to give you anxiety. And be in the now. Eckhart Tolle talks about that. Be in the now. Learn to stay where you are right now. Sunday, 17th of May, 6:43 in this webinar. Do not go to something of July when July has not happened. So when people say, where do you see yourself in 10, 15 years? I do that in therapy. And I love what people say to me, because they say the beautiful things that they envision for themselves. Going back to school, doing this and getting their masters and having a family. Fantastic. Focus on these things. Focus on things that you can control. Don't focus on things that you cannot control. because that's what's going to eat away at you. And I think, understand that you're a beautiful person, you're a beautiful soul, and honor the soul, the fire that lives within inside of you. And all of us have ego. It's okay. So, but know that the ego is there. And if the only prayer you say is thank you to God, thank you to yourself, thank you for everything, thank you for sharing the space with me, thank you for, when we're upset with somebody, thank you for seeing. This is something that I actually say a lot. When you're upset with somebody, have the foresight to know who you don't want to become. If this person is showing you, and you're fighting with somebody, and she's showing you who she is, have enough sense to say, I don't want to be that person. And how are you going to do it? By changing yourself. Stick to your journey. Don't make pakialam other people's journey. Drive in your lane. The problem with us is we want to go here and we want to swerve and we want to go there and we want to go there. Focus on your journey. Do not focus on other people's journey. That's not your journey, because they're going to get ahead and you will be left behind. You have a lot to learn in this lifetime. Wake up. The earth is waking up. I mean, she's cleansing herself. Mama Earth is cleansing herself. What are you doing for yourself? And if a person, I've had so many webinars when this question was asked, and I want to address it even if nobody's asked me this question. What if the person doesn't want to wake up? It's not your business to wake anybody up. You wake yourself up, that's all that matters. And if a person is negative, stay away. But understand to just give them love and compassion, because they're at war with themselves. But you don't absorb that energy as well. And know that every single day, things are going to look up. And lastly, I end my campaign. It's okay to not be okay. Whereas it's okay to not be okay, but don't stick to that story for the rest of your life. That's going to be your excuse, and you're going to hide behind that story of it's okay to not be okay. Don't do that. Right now, as these emotions are coming up, all these uncertainty, all this, work, what's going to happen? Am I going to be earning? Am I going to meet my deadline, my quota? I love making money, and next month, I don't know. It's okay to not be okay. It's okay to not have the answers. And if right now, with what's happening, you just want to watch Netflix, and it's okay. It's okay to not be productive, guys. It's irritating when people say you have to be productive. Says who? I didn't know that there was a police somewhere. It's okay. But for the people that have it together, please be productive. For the people that can have the mental space to hold the space for everyone else, do what you need to do. Because we are holding the space for all of you. And when I give my lectures like this, how are you showing up for yourself, and how are you showing up for others? This may be a free lecture, this webinar, but I'm going to require something from you. How are you going to pay it forward? Because I may not watch you, but the universe is watching you. How are you going to pay it forward? So I leave with that question, and be good to yourself. And learn that you need to have compassion for yourself. Learn kindness, love, and compassion. If there's anything that you're going to do right now while we're in the situation that we are in, learn to love yourself for all that you are and for all that you're not. You're not going to be, if somebody said that you're going to win all these whatever. And if you don't, it's okay, because you're going to be good at something else. And what is that something else? It's what makes you unique. It's what makes you you. And honor, celebrate that person, that fire that lives within her. She's dying to come out. He's dying to come out. And if you don't, it's just very sad, because you're not going to get that chance again. So please, again, when I say goodbye, I may not see some of you. Some of you I know that I've invited here. But let me tell you something. Please show up for other people. Please help me in doing the work of the universe. Please, I need you. I need you, because we're doing this together and we're waking up to our purpose. And what is that purpose? It may not be the same as mine, but God, you have purpose. And wake up to your purpose. Blessings.
Thank you so much, Saps. I shared my screen and showed where and how you can contact Saps. At the same time, maybe we can get a few last words from Jasmine.
Sure, no problem. Thank you so much, Coach Russ and Ms. Saps, on behalf of everyone that attended here today. Thank you for sharing your knowledge. Thank you, Yanni, for organizing this and inviting not just your close circle, but also the public and whoever wanted to join. I'm sure marami sa atin dito na naka-relate or may newfound knowledge on how to take care of yourself, or what to do, or how to set your mornings para you can maximize it for yourself, or maybe try to imitate and see if it works for you too. Ako, when I come to these things, I always keep an open mind. There are things that may not apply to me, but I stay till the end kasi I want to see where it goes, and I want to see kung alin din yung pwede ko talagang i-apply for myself. So, with everything that was discussed today, with my sharings and all that, I guess I want to say thank you to everyone for being here to listen and respecting also everyone, not just my sharing, but everyone's sharing and everyone's questions, everyone's concerns, kasi these are all valid, and we all need a place to feel that our fears, our stress, and anxieties are valid. And I guess now that we have each other in this in little environment, like what Sav said, well, how are you going to pay it forward? Maybe you can create your own environment with your own close circles, with your own family, even perhaps, if that's something that they're open to. And I definitely do a lot of these reflections, a lot of these meditations on my own, but there are times when I get to share it with you guys, and I'm so thankful, because it's difficult to be alone in these times. And I'm not physically alone. I have my dogs and my cat and my boyfriend with me at home, but I am physically away from my family. I don't have kids, so I really only talk to my pets, because my boyfriend is working pretty much 24/7. So, it's easy for me to get lost in my thoughts nowadays, kasi hindi ko naman pwedeng hilain lang si Jeff and say, hey, mind me, and focus on me and what I'm going through, because I also have to be mindful kung ano din yung ibibigay ko sa kanya and how much he can take on. So I guess that's just another perspective I want to give lang. Once you find your support system or your support person, be open for yourself and to that person, so that you have someone you can count on or run to if things do get tough on your own. But also be mindful that baka din naman this might impact them another way. So learn to limit that, so that you have to give yourself the work also. It's not easy to start the work on yourself, but small things, 5 minutes of just breathing outside, looking up at the sky or the stars, even if you're not consciously or actively thinking of something mindful, if you're not present in that thought, as long as you're looking at something and that's giving you a moment of silence, then I think, that's something you can do for yourself. And that's how I started. And you'll find your ways to cope, but don't get tired for yourself to find those ways, because everyone here wants to help, and we are all present for each other kahit na we don't know each other. Honestly, I've gone to people, other strangers, more than my family for support, and it's helped me a lot. And if you can't find it at home, I'm sure you'll find somewhere that you can add to be also your new home. So don't be afraid. You'll get there, and I'm here with you. If you want to chat with me, DM nyo lang ako sa Instagram. I will reply, or tweet nyo lang ako, or sa Facebook page ko. I'm there. Di ako coach, di ako inner child therapist, but I'll talk with you and I'll chat with you as much as I can. But kung may limit ako, please do know limited talaga yung knowledge ko on this, because I'm still learning and I'm still growing, and I'm not licensed, or it's not my profession. So I can only give a perspective of from my end, and I guess it helps then that for I guess for my job, that I always have to understand a different person's perspective. So yun lang, I guess that's why I tend to sympathize or empathize with people a lot. So thank you guys. I really appreciate your time. Yanni, Saps, Coach Russ, thank you so much. I'm so in love with these last few hours. Thank you.
Thank you, Jasmine. Oh, ayan, guys, you can message her. She will reply, and I swear she's one of the nicest people I've worked with, and that's why I'm very happy she's here. Coach Ross, for the last word.
Wow. Thank you, Saps. You're amazing, man. I love you. Okay. Jasmine, thank you. I'm just so happy today because na-confirm ko na magkamag-anak pala kami ni Jasmine Curtis, no?
Correct, Coach.
Because the first kitten I bought, the breeder told me yung kapatid nito na kila Jasmine. Sabi ko, ayoko maniwala, no? So I started chatting. Yes, they have, there's only few kittens to have this here. So yeah, magkamag-anak kami sa pusa lang. So thank you so much. So last and final word, only one is, oh my God, look at that. Can I have a paso here? There's only one permanent in this world. Remember that. And the only thing that's permanent in this world is God's love. And God's love is unconditional. So therefore, your only job here is unconditionally love yourself, forgive yourself no matter what, accept yourself, everything. But love, honor, accept yourself. Because when you do that, it will naturally overflow to people around you. So every time you're down, you're afraid, always remember #Yana. You are never alone. So call someone, be in conversation, or the best part here is call someone and give help. That's the best part. Call someone and give help. So it's either ask for help and give help, either or. It's you now serving the world. Because at the end of the day, the reason why there's too much problem because people are so focused on their own drama that they forget to serve the world. So having said that, I'd like to thank and honor you guys for showing up. And please make sure you pay it forward. Call someone today. Hey, how are you? I'm just checking on you. What's going on? Or tonight, maybe call people in your life who you love, your parents, your siblings, first circle, and just tell them how much you love them. And if they say, nakadroga ka ba? Sabihin mo lang, okay lang. I just want to let you know that you are not alone. I'm here for you. And that's an action that I want you to take on tonight. Just create a more loving home tonight. God bless you, everyone. Back to you, Yanni.
Thank you so much, Coach Ross, Jasmine, and of course, Saps. I love you guys so much. Thank you for making this first Ichikahan webinar a success. I think everyone here got so much value just by being here for 3 hours. Di ko nga napansin na 3 hours na pala yon. So again, thank you for being here. To everyone who attended, thank you so much. I just want to give a shout out to the team behind this. Of course, speakers for sharing, my loves. Kevin Pineda, who's helping me with the live stream currently. So siya po ang nakahandle doon. Tish, who helped with the poster. And of course, Rainiel, who texted all of you. Hindi po ako yon. And reminded you and emailed you. So thank you. Okay, can I just... I have 2 minutes to plug myself. If you like the type of organization or the type of culture that we have today, this is actually, again, every day we do it. I do it in my small team. So connect with me on Facebook or on Instagram. It's at Coach Yani Moya to be part of this advocacy and community. My team is super open to help transform more people's lives. Together with Coach Ross, of course, as our leader. So, yeah, if you like this kind of seminar, please leave a recommendation or maybe a suggestion of what's the next topic that you want to get or do you want to see. So, yeah, thank you so much again for attending, guys. I appreciate you. And on behalf of all our speakers today, we thank you for staying with us for 3 hours and not getting, wala naman masyadong umalis. So, thank you so much. And yeah, have a blessed, blessed Sunday evening. Thank you. Goodbye.
So again, please reach out to me in my Facebook page because I'm going to send you my recording, guaranteed the best. Okay? Jasmine, I'll send it to you for my cats. And Saps, thank you so much. Appreciate you. Love you, everyone. Thanks, everyone.
Bye. Thanks,
Thanks, everyone. Love you.
Thank you, Coach Russ. Thank you, Yanni. Thank you, Miss Jasmine. Thank you, Saps. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
Sana, until next time.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you, everyone.
Bye.
Thank you.